What's up guys, today we're going to be taking a look at one of my favorite characters in Valorant currently. We're going to be doing a beginner's tips and tricks series on Valorant, and the first character to start off this series is going to be Sage. Keep in mind that this is for beginners, and before we start, this is my gameplay. I'm playing on Split. It's a very interesting gameplay, though it's not going to be one constant, like uncut gameplay. It's going to be cut up because in the first few rounds I was really bad, then I started to pick up pace. I ended up being second in the leaderboard on my team, and we also end up winning, but it does start off really bad, and I'm gonna let that be in the background, because that's the point of this beginner guide, that you can also be bad, but with these tips that I'm gonna show you, and also with you just trying, you can turn all of that around and be a better player by the end of the game. That's kind of the point. We are also going to be doing advanced tips for characters, but that requires a lot more playtime, and it would not be a good guide if I made it now. I have to play a lot more so I can do advanced guides, and I want to do it without just stating something that's very obvious. These beginner tips are going to be like I said, for beginners, so don't expect anything wow here that you've never seen before. This is for someone who just picked up the game and wants to play Sage and just typed in Sage beginner's guide on YouTube. Sage is a very unusual healer. This is where the unique style of Valorant comes in and makes it so that even if you are a healer, you don't have to be defensive and laid back as you would in other games like Overwatch. She is a combination of Mercy and Mei. If anyone played Overwatch is, watching this and wants a comparison. Like I said in my previous videos, these abilities only boost your playstyle, and picking Sage as an agent in the lock screen is going to open up a whole new world if you're used to being a healer in shooter games. We are going to be starting off with her abilities and what she brings to the table and how to best use those abilities during the game. Let's start off with her first ability, her first basic ability, and that's Barrier Orb. It costs 400, lasts 30 seconds, and has 800 total health. This is an ability that can change the flow of the map if used correctly. What you can do as Sage is put the wall up at choke points that enemies come in, and thereby forcing them to either break the wall and reveal themselves or make them change their route. Also, using it to protect yourself from engagements that are not in your favor is a very useful way to use this ability. Usually you want to put it up at places that are going to be frequented by enemies. In the background, I'm going to be showing you guys a few places on a few different maps you can put up your barriers and make your barrier worth every penny. Also, blocking off routes that enemies have to go through when you plant a spike, for example, is a good way of buying some time for yourself. When placing the wall, you can also use it to put yourself into places that are not accessible to all characters, as well as holding the right mouse button that will allow you to put the wall up in any direction you want and doesn't have to be a 90-degree angle. This is used by pro players to block off a certain choke point and also peek the enemy, allowing them to get a kill if they use it correctly. You can also, like I said, get to places where not every character can go. So what have we concluded about this ability is that it helps you as a Sage player to control the flow and interactions of the game so you can make them favor you more. Also, one thing to keep in mind is that you only get one barrier per round. Also, that it's probably worth saving the 400 in the first few rounds and not buying it, since if you buy it and you don't use it well, or you just don't use it all, it can lead to you having a very bad economy and not having enough money. So it's 400, you only get one. It's a ability that you have to think about before you use it. But when you get to late game, you can, use it very, I don't want to say sparingly, but you should use it to block off points that are going to be frequented by enemies. So if you plant A, you want to find a way to block off A somehow, to make them come to interact with you in a more favorable way towards you, so you can kill them. That's the whole point of putting up a wall, so you lead them to where you want them to go. And even if they do come in and destroy it, they are showing themselves and you know where they are, and you can kill them and you can use that to your advantage. Next up, we have the Slow Orb. The Slow Orb is also an ability that makes Sage a very interesting support character. This ability costs 100, lasts 7 seconds, and when used slows down anyone who walks on it by 50%. It also makes a distinct sound when somebody walks on it, kinda like ice cracking. You should try to use this ability to slow down enemies from going into bomb sites or pushing you too hard, especially if you are alone and your teammates are on the way, which should never happen to you if you're a team healer and support. But if that does happen to you, you can use that to slow down enemies for a period of time. This ability can be bounced on walls, so you can take the orb, bounce it on a few walls and make it land further than, it would if you just thrown it on the floor. The impact it makes is quite substantial. You can see some of those plays I made in the background gameplay. Hopefully you're gonna see it. You also want to try to use it to stop enemies from pushing you if you're defending. And for example, on this map that I'm playing, if they go on B, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't yet, put in my head B and A. I think it's B, but if they push B, you can see Phoenix, using his firewall and also the smoke grenades. If you just see them trying to push with everything they have, if you put down that slowing orb, it's gonna make them not want to push, because even if they go into it, they're gonna be slowed down. They're gonna have to use shift so they don't make noises, and you can kill them very easily because they're using shift and they're slowed down 50%, and that lasts for 7 seconds. It's not that much time, but it also is not nothing, and you also have 2 of them, so if you caught them once, you can just play another one, slow them down even more for longer, and you can kill them. It's a very useful ability. So try to bounce it off of walls and push it onto enemies so they don't push you, and also just make more favorable interactions for your teammates. If you're seeing a pattern here, what I'm saying is that Sage is there as a support character to make more favorable interactions for your team. She's not there to kill people, to destroy people, to pick off people like Phoenix or Jet or anybody like that. She's there to help her teammates, but also when she does want to kill someone, she's not terrible at it. You have a gun and everything that stands, but you can also slow down someone, use your barrier, and you can also hold your own. And we're gonna get into her healing ability, which is also one thing that is very good, but it's a very basic ability. Anyways, for the slow orb, you can just use it to basically, this sounds like basic, slow down enemies, but in a way that when they push you, and if they get on that slow orb, like ice thing, I don't know how to call it, when it's on the ground, you can kill them easily. There's been multiple times when I use my slow orb and they just start, running backwards. I just go in, I shoot 1, I shoot 2, I get like a triple kill. It's a very, very forgiving ability if you're a Sage. But also one thing, it slows you down, it slows everyone down. So it's not like it slows down enemies. That's like the negative side of it. If it used to slow down just enemies, it would be overpowered, and I think Sage would be the best character in the game. Also, you should buy this early game. It's very good, and it's not very expensive. It's 100. Now we're going on to her signature ability, the one that recharges, and that's the healing orb. This one is not very hard nor very complicated. It will heal everyone who you throw the healing orb at to 100. If someone shoots your teammate while they're healing, you do not get the full effect of the healing orb, so they just stop. For example, if you're healing your teammate from 10 HP to 100, they get to 50, somebody shoots them and they go to like 42, they're gonna stay at 42. It's not gonna heal them regardless if someone shoots or not. If someone shoots them, they're not gonna heal. It regenerates every 45 seconds, so knowing that each round lasts 100 seconds, you could use an average of 2 times if the spike gets planted, but overall a very simple ability to use and also a very good ability. Just because it's simple does not mean it's very bad. You can also heal yourself if you use right click, so 1 to 2 times around you can save one teammate before they get killed just by healing them, and that can be a very good thing. Also, I want to say that she is the only agent in the game currently that can, heal other people. The only healer in the game. The final ability, and the ability is her ultimate, is Resurrection. This ability is charged after 7 points, and in my opinion is harder to use than you think it is. It takes about 2 seconds to revive someone. While reviving someone, you are vulnerable and you cannot defend yourself. Also, if the teammate is not protected, he can be immediately killed after being revived. So finding a way to, slow down someone, use your orb, use your, barrier to just but stopped enemies killing you and your teammate while reviving them, it can very easily become an ability, an ultimate that costs you 2 lives. So the one you're supposed to be reviving and yourself, if not used correctly. You should see that you are protected either by teammates or by your abilities. Also note that your teammate spawns with a pistol and not the gun he died with, unless the gun is still on his body and nobody has taken it. The final note on the ultimate is that it should not be saved, it should be used as frequently as possible. If you're getting flawless wins, then of course don't use it, you can't use it. But if it's a 2v4, 3v4, 1v1, 3v5 situation, use the ultimate to resurrect and win. It's a game changing ultimate and definitely helps your team, because there's no one in the game that can do that. You get one player who's dead, you revive them, you immediately have more manpower and more abilities, you know, on your team, so you can win. Well, this has been my first, basic tips for beginners, and I hope all the beginners enjoyed this video. For you advanced guys, I'm gonna be making an advanced guide when I master Sage, which should be in a week or 2, and I hope you guys will watch that video, and I thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to like. If you didn't like it, make sure to dislike. Tell me what I did wrong in the comment section below. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching. See you guys later. Peace.